Hello, my fellow unicorns. Today I'm going to show you another section of my DVD physical media collection. This time I have a mishmash of action, adventure, and a few other extras. And it's a little bit more eclectic in this section, so let's get started. I've got the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man collection, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3. I'm really happy that I have all three of these. Honestly, Tobey Maguire's my favorite actor who played Spider-Man. Tom Holland is a close second, but something about Tobey Maguire's quirkiness and just how the stories evolved from when he is a senior in high school to when he's grown up and trying to make it in college and his life. And also Kirsten Dunst is my favorite MJ. I just really love this series. So with the first Spider-Man, I really enjoyed how they showed how he got his powers and how he evolved from a super geek to Spider-Man. And I really liked, and Spider-Man 2 I think is my favorite out of the series. I just could relate, to him and I felt really bad for Peter Parker. Because in this one, it's like the more he tries, the more he loses. It's just such a struggle to manage being Spider-Man and being Peter Parker and having a normal life. Yet his life is far from normal. So I just really related to that and felt bad for him. And yeah, so this was a really good one. And Alfred Molina as Doc Ock was so great. And then, of course, the third one, we've got Tobey Maguire, and we got to see a little bit of Venom. I really liked Topher Grace because he's very similar to Tobey Maguire, actually. And, and then Sandman, played by Thomas Hayden Church. He was really good, and you also kind of empathized with the Sandman's plight. The only downside is we've got emo Tobey Maguire and that really, really cringe dance that he does where he's being really douchey and just so over the top. It was like, stop. Please stop. But overall, it still made me laugh, but also it was embarrassing. Like, I don't know why it made me feel embarrassed. So I've got the special edition set of Batman. We've got Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. I love these. They all have really awesome special features on them. They all have music videos, a documentary gallery, commentary with Tim Burton, a bunch of making of featurettes, and storyboard sequences and stuff. It's just really, really cool. Oh, I just love this bat symbol, don't you? It looks like candy. Like those butterscotch candies or something. So cool. And then, obviously, these two are my favorite because Michael Keaton is my favorite Batman. And I love Batman Returns, specifically because Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. I mean, come on. But, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, although they are a bit campy, I still really enjoyed them. And I loved everybody's performances, and especially Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. And Val Kilmer was a pretty good Batman. Next up, we have The Adventures of Indiana Jones, the complete DVD movie collection. Now, this says complete, but this set includes Raiders, Temple of Doom, and Last Crusade, and then bonus materials. And so it all has special features and stuff, which is really nice. And they're all encased in this really nice decorative box case. And then here you have a nice illustration of Indiana Jones here. And we found this at Goodwill for $4. Can you believe that? I don't know why we kept the sticker on, but I guess we were so surprised that we found it at Goodwill for $4. And then the back has this really nice, it's from one of his posters. But yeah, this set obviously does not include Crystal Skull, and it does not include the fifth one. I can't even remember what the fifth one was called. I didn't really care for that film. But I would buy the fourth one, and I consider that as part of a complete set. I don't really count the fifth one because I just didn't like it at all. The next set of adventure films, I've got The Mummy Returns, and The Scorpion King. And I absolutely love this series, well, specifically The Mummy. I did see the third one, but I didn't really like that one either, so I didn't buy it. And, but ironically, they are in talks to make a fourth one. So that would be really cool to have Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz return to portray their characters one more time. But that would definitely mean that Brendan Fraser would have to get into some serious shape. Because to be Rick O'Connell, you gotta be fit in order to fight and do all those stunts and everything. The Scorpion King, I only have the first one. There's 5 of them, and I did watch all of them, and they're terrible. This one was okay, kind of campy. It was Dwayne Johnson's first film role, so you could see here he's really trying to be angry right there. But he actually looks like he just needs a nap. But I still enjoy these. I like this world. It's fun, and I love ancient Egypt or ancient history in general, so this is awesome to see. I've got the entire Rush Hour series. This was so fun, especially the first one was so great. I love Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan is one of the greatest martial artists who have ever lived, and in particular, I love his choreography skills, and I'm so impressed with his ability to incorporate comedy with martial arts, and it's like he speaks in movement. It's really great. He was very influenced by Charlie Chaplin, and it shows the way he choreographs the fighting sequences and all the stunts that he's done. Oh, it's crazy. And then the amount of bones that he's broken, just completely given his life, his body, everything to this art is just I'm very impressed with him. And then Chris Tucker, he's just hilarious, and so these two together is the perfect dynamic. And so, of course, I had to get the whole series. Now, I really enjoyed the first two. The third one was not good, but I still enjoyed watching them. but I really don't return to this one. I really just mainly watch the first two films. And then this one, we found, I don't know, I forget where we got this, but this includes all three. But then it also includes Money Talks with Chris Tucker and Charlie Sheen. And I actually haven't seen this film yet, so I need to watch that. And I think my husband got this one. So I did show this one in a separate video, but I want to bring it back because it's action and I just felt like including it. I have a lot of Tom Cruise films actually because he's just so good. He can do it all. But I like the comedy, I love the action, I love the chemistry between Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise, so I do highly recommend this one if you haven't seen it. This is a classic, Con Air. I really like this film. My husband and I recently rewatched this one, and everyone is so good. So good in this. It's just so 90s, so over the top, and Nick Cage, it's great, and John Cusack as well. Just everyone in this was really great, and it's just one of those movies where if they made it today, it would not perform well. You really need the heart. That's sorely missing in films today, and just I don't even know what actors today would be charismatic enough, and the ones that might be are too old. You know, they're getting old, so we don't have any new actors that we can really grab onto. You know, they're not making movie stars like they used to. They devalued the art form. They devalued the business. So if you devalue the whole business and the actors, you're not gonna latch on to any of these characters or these stories. So it's really sad. But that's why if I feel sad about it, I just pop in a good movie like Con Air or any of the other really great films that I'm going to keep collecting. So that makes me feel better. So I have Mission Impossible 1, 2, and 3. Now I have 4, 5, and 6 on digital, but I need to get them on DVD. So I at least have 1, 2, 3 on DVD, but yeah, I need to complete my set, so I'm gonna have to go DVD shopping soon in order to complete it. And then there's the 7th one, which was okay. I think they're running out of things to say with the story, with the franchise, so I think they need to finish out the last one and then move on, because I think Ethan Hunt is done. But this is one of my favorite series when it comes to action. I like this better than James Bond. I'm sorry if that's blasphemous to say for some of you, but the truth is, I like James Bond. I like some of the films, from the ones that I have seen. Because admittedly I haven't seen them all, but I've seen all the Mission Impossible films, and I rewatch them probably more frequently than you think. Like, I think I rewatch them at least a couple times a year. So, yeah. Okay. We've got another action film, Speed, and I love this film. I rewatch this one a lot, and whenever, like, back when, before streaming, there was cable, so whenever it was on cable, I would rewatch this, And this was great to watch with the family. I remember when it first came out, we were like, who's this guy? He's so good. And then you've got, of course, Sandra Bullock, and then the villain's Dennis Hopper, who was just great. He didn't overplay it, he just played it very straight, and I like, he's a really good villain. And, yeah, I mean, the idea for this film is just so crazy, but it worked. I did not get the second film because the second film was terrible. I believe my husband and I tried to watch it once and I fell asleep. I can tell when a movie is bad if I fall asleep because I normally do not fall asleep at all when it comes to watching films because I love movies. I love them so much. I love good stories, but if it's really, really bad, I fall asleep. So this one definitely keeps my interest, but not Speed 2. This is another great one, Point Break, with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze. I love this movie. It's kind of cheesy. You've got surfer thieves or surfer bank robbers, but and then a cop who goes undercover. I mean, it's just kind of an out there type of film, but I really enjoyed this one. I know this is kind of like a cult classic, and I don't know if it did well when it first came out, but I know people still refer to it and talk about it to this day, so that is definitely saying something. I mean, again, if this movie was made now, I don't think it'd do well. And they probably would try to pad it out and make it into a mini-series anyway. I've got a whole bunch of Quentin Tarantino movies. Now, I guess because Quentin Tarantino, he's kind of, these are kind of action films in my opinion. There's a lot of fighting, a lot of guns. So to me, I technically consider this action, although Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not really action. This is more of a drama. Just a 3-hour period piece drama, and I love this one so much. But I had to keep it with the other Tarantino films. I don't have what's that other? I don't have Django, and I don't have The Hateful Eight, so I need to get those. I've seen Django like once, and it was okay. I didn't really like that one. And then I haven't seen The Hateful Eight. Let's start with Reservoir Dogs. I think this is such a great film. I love that it's an independent film that got bought out by a studio later. And everyone who was in this was just so good. Like, this film is surprisingly good, and I think it's clever that it takes place mostly in the warehouse. But, there's a few other locations, but I think this was just really, really well done. And a lot of blood, very bloody. Jackie Brown. Jackie Brown, this is a pretty good one. I've only actually seen parts of it because my husband got this one, and I need to, I've always been meaning to sit down and watch it, and then I just never have, and I don't know why. So I need to do it. I do, because I think Pam Grier is a good actress. I saw her in Jawbreaker and a couple other films that are slipping my mind right now. But this is a good film, and it's has a lot of positive reviews and stuff, so I can't say too much about it because I haven't actually seen it myself. This is one that my husband got, but I do want to see it. So I need to see Jackie Brown, and I need to see Hateful Eight. Then, of course, we've got Pulp Fiction, and I love this movie. It's so good. I haven't, it's a little bit dark, you know, a lot of violence and stuff, but it's still really how all the stories, all the different characters, and how they cross into each other's lives, I think is really well done. And you know, you're kind of rooting for all of them, even though they're all terrible people. So something about Tarantino makes you want to root for people that are terrible people. But yeah, it's got a bunch of bonus materials too. Behind the scenes, production design, like all this stuff. That's one thing that I appreciate about Tarantino, is that he does put special features on his DVDs. So that's really, really nice. And then probably my favorites of his films are these four, like, and I love them for different reasons. I particularly love Kill Bill. Uma Thurman just knocks it out of the park. The fighting, the odes to Bruce Lee, this sort of samurai warrior hero's journey is just so good. And I love how in the first one, Tarantino uses a bit of anime to tell Oren Ishii's story and how she became an assassin. And it's just crazy. There's a lot of people that he uses that you didn't really expect. And in terms of actors. And you just never know where the movie's gonna go. The other thing that I appreciate is Tarantino's use of music, the soundtracks and music that he borrows from older films. It gives his film like a timeless feel to it, because he does make kind of this type of pulpy, almost B-movie type of films, but they all have this very retro, classic feel to it. It's just really great. I really enjoy it. Then we've got Inglourious Basterds, which I love for many reasons. I like all the characters. I like how Tarantino sort of rewrites history of where Hitler gets killed, and it's just so well done. And also, I think in this particular film, Tarantino is a master at writing tension, really strong tension in the scenes, like these really long drawn out scenes, like especially the beginning of the film, where I forget his name, but he's so good as the villain. What's his name? Christopher Waltz. This is like where his big breakout. Like, I haven't seen him in anything before this, but I've seen him in things afterwards. But he did so well playing that German Nazi. And first scene with the milk was amazing, and then with the apple strudel, holy smokes. Melanie Laurent, she was also really, really, really good. I love everybody's performance was just so amazing. So this is definitely one of my favorites. And then one that I keep rewatching is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I don't care that it's 3 hours long. It's just such a love letter to California in the 60s. And everyone's performance was really well done. But also I think that this one was it's just very cozy. Something about it is very timeless. And because I used to live in LA, there's something very sentimental about working and living in Hollywood for a bit. And even though I've left Hollywood behind because it's becoming unlivable there, I still think this film, where it was still part of this golden age of Hollywood, really good films were made and so many big names came out of there during this time. So, yeah, I think that's one of the main reasons that it really draws me. All right, we've got a few more action and adventure films. I've got 300. Then this is by Zack Snyder, and this is so well done. I haven't seen this film actually in a very long time. I'd like to revisit it because I loved it looked like a graphic novel, but a moving graphic novel. And of course everyone quotes, "This is Sparta." And I think this was really when Gerard Butler had a big breakthrough. So this is there's some action in here, but definitely love this by Fargo by the Coen brothers, and kind of a little bit of a murder mystery here. And I'm just, Frances McDormand is such a great actress. I really like all the films that she's in, and I think she's funny, and I think she's quirky, and she feels real. Like when she's in a role, she really embraces it, and I feel the realism of her performances. And Fargo is just it's fun. I love that she's this pregnant police officer, and every time she eats fast food, I'm like, I love it. I don't know what it is about food scenes, but I really love it. And then it's just so funny how this kind of fake kidnapping thing set up goes horribly wrong for everybody involved, and all for just a little bit of money, because at the end she kind of sums it up. She's like, I'll never understand why this happens for just a little bit of money, because it's true, it wasn't even that much money if you think about it. But oh well. Fargo's a classic. So this one is a little off kilter, but I wanted to include it because I have so many other Tom Cruise films in this section, so I just kept it there. But Vanilla Sky is a great film. It's one that my husband and I love to return to every now and again. I love Penelope Cruz, and I think this was at the time when her and Tom Cruise were dating. And I think they broke up because of his Scientology, though. But anyway, this was wonderfully done. And of course, Cameron Diaz and Tom Cruise have great chemistry. And this is a pretty scary film if you think about it, a crazy stalkerish lover, and then you get into an insane accident, and just the idea of living in a perpetual dream world it does not sound like fun. I'd rather just face reality and figure out how to go on from there, you know? Because when you can't decipher the problem with living in a dream world all the time is that you don't know what's real, so you can't navigate where you want to go, you know? But great film. This one is definitely action. We've got Face Off with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage. This is such a great film. I know people still talk about this film, and it's just fun. You can tell that both actors really embraced the other's personality, and that's why it works. I mean, a film like this is not supposed to work. It's kind of cheesy, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of cheese, but you know, it works. And these two guys had a lot of fun, and this is one of those movies that my husband and I like to revisit every now and again. And yeah, John Travolta was really, really good. I love True Lies. One of the best action comedies I've seen. I love Jamie Lee Curtis in this. They have the best chemistry, and I really liked also Tom Arnold as his friend, and then Bill Paxton as that really slimy used car salesman. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And James Cameron, I mean, he's, with all that blue light, he's just a really great director. He's very thorough. And so I think he partnered really well with Schwarzenegger to make this film. And this is actually based off of a French film. And I really think the American adaptation and just making it bigger and just really Americanized, it worked. It worked so well. It's one of my favorite action films of all time. It's just so good. I've got Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12. I really like both of these films. I think there's an Ocean's 13, but I don't remember it. And then I did see the other one where Sandra Bullock, what was that one called? I can't even remember what that one was called, because it wasn't very memorable, honestly. I didn't think the female Ocean was that great. But I love Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12. These two are really, really good. In particular, Ocean's 11 was one of my favorites. I would rewatch this all the time. And then I love the second one, and in particular, I love Catherine Zeta-Jones' performance. And I also like how they have to steal something from this French master thief, and so they're at odds with Andy Garcia's character, and then they're at odds with this French master thief, and then there's the cops. So there's a lot of characters that are targeting the gang, you know. But I like both of these. They're fun, they're funny, they've got some action, got some intrigue, and yeah. Okay, I've got Pirates of the Caribbean. This is a great adventure saga. Now I need to get 4 and 5 and add those to my collection. I liked the 4th one because it had mermaids. And the 5th one, actually the 5th one was decent. I like how there was a cameo from Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. But the the fifth one wasn't very memorable, so I really hope that Disney stops making them altogether, because I think they've said enough with the first 5 films. And I really hope Disney starts making something new. We can hope. This series is great. There's no one like Johnny Depp to play Jack Sparrow, and so I was really sad that they fired him. But, you know, I think he's done enough of them to, like, he doesn't need to reprise the role anymore. I think he's done, and I think this series is done. But it was so good, especially when it first came out. It was just so good. So, and Keira Knightley too. She was made for this role, and with Orlando Bloom, they made a great pair. So, yeah. And Jeffrey Rush too as Barbossa. He's really good too. Another sort of action adventure film. We've got The Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas, Anthony Hopkins, and Catherine Zeta-Jones. I don't know why I have a Super Bit Deluxe DVD and why it's taking up a good portion of the cover, but this one's pretty old. I really enjoyed this film. I really enjoyed this film. It's just so amazing. This story is pretty long. It's like 2.5 hours long. But to see how Antonio Banderas' character becomes Zorro, but he's not even the real Zorro. The real Zorro is Anthony Hopkins, and he trains Antonio Banderas' character. And honestly, Catherine Zeta-Jones, I can't believe there is not one drop of Spanish blood in her. She's Welsh. But I think, like, down the line there's got to be something, because her features are so, like, dark and very much like a Spanish or Italian or something. But it's weird, she's like Welsh. And then of course Antonio Banderas is from Spain. And then actually Anthony Hopkins, his character with the tan like that, he did look like Spanish, because I've seen a lot of Spanish men who they have sort of light skin but somewhat of a tan or olive tone, and then light colored eyes. So I mean, I think I don't really consider this, like, I'm Mexican and I don't consider this cultural appropriation. I just consider this like just a really, really well done film. So I'm all for it. And the sword fighting, the comedy, the romance, the music is also so beautiful. So I highly recommend this. If you haven't seen The Mask of Zorro, give it a try, because it's so good. Okay, we've got a little bit of action here. Got Twister, and from the producers of Jurassic Park and the director of Speed. I really love Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton. They were great together. Wonderful chemistry, and also the crew, like all the actors who played their crew. You've got Philip Seymour Hoffman and a bunch of other people, and then Jamie Gertz too. She was good. It's just such a really down-home film, but I really loved the CGI and also the mix of the practical effects with the CGI to make Twister, because at the time that wasn't done before, so they did a really great job. Okay, so this is another kind of action adventure film, Apocalypto. Now, I was surprised that Mel Gibson did this one. it's something you wouldn't expect from him. But I really, really liked it. I've never seen a film that depicts like Mayan Aztec people. And so for him to pick this, very interesting. And so I really enjoyed this film. And the main actor is, I don't know the actor's name, but in the film his name is Jaguar Paw. And basically, if you haven't seen this, a powerful and more dominant native tribe attacks his village and captures most of the people and kills the rest that fight them. And then he hides his son and his pregnant wife in a cave, and he has to get them out or else they're stuck there. So he this whole time he like is running away from these really bad warrior types, and then they take them to the big city, and it's just crazy to see all this stuff that he has to go to just to get back to his family. And so it's a really well done film. My husband actually has not seen this movie. I keep having to convince him that it's actually good, but he's like, I'm just not interested in it. So one day I'm just gonna pop in the movie, and I'm gonna make him sit down and watch it because it's really good. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you've seen this movie, if you like this movie. My final film of the night is Sin City, directed by Robert Rodriguez and Frank Miller. And of course, we've got a guest director, Quentin Tarantino. I think this mashup worked perfectly. It's got such a stellar cast of people. You've got Bruce Willis, you've got Benicio del Toro, Rosario Dawson, Jessica Alba, Clive Owen, Devin Aoki, Michael Clark Duncan, Josh Hartnett, Brittany Murphy, Mickey Rourke. I mean, there's so many people in this film. Elijah Wood's in there. He plays someone kind of creepy. But yeah, I really liked how this looked like a moving, living graphic novel. And I liked the mostly black and white of it all, or the faded colors. It's just so cool. And some of the performances were a little over the top, but at the same time I think it worked for the tone of the film and the story. And yeah, I sometimes rewatch this, but I haven't seen it in a long time, to be honest. So I should see it again, because I really enjoyed it though when I've seen it, and I used to watch it a lot more. Okay, there you have it, my friends. This is my second to last section of my DVD collection. I have so many, but I want to keep collecting. It's crazy. There's so much more that I want to have our own on physical media. I think it's super important, particularly because with a streaming service, you have no control when they have a film on there or what kind of content they have, because it's all under a license. And so they can remove things or edit things altogether. But with physical media, you own the film. So it's very important. Repeat after me. You own the film. Okay? I really hope that you enjoyed this video, that you like seeing all the different types of movies on here, and that I hope it inspires you to start your own collection or add to yours. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. and give me a subscribe because that really helps my channel stand out against the YouTube algorithm. Thank you guys so much for watching. Good night.